Welcome, yogis. Jacqueline here. For this yoga flow, you might want to have a couple of yoga blocks, an optional yoga strap, and we'll begin in a comfortable seat. Finding length in your spine, sitting upright, and at the same time allowing there to be a sense of ease in the shoulders. You can close your eyes or gaze towards the tip of your nose. And begin by finding awareness of your breath. And bring your hands to where you feel your breath. Maybe at the base of the neck, the heart, or the belly. Take a few more breaths now. Feeling the breath move underneath your hands. Place the hands so that one is at the heart and one is at the belly. Go ahead and breathe out completely. As you inhale, breathe into your belly. Feel it expand into that bottom hand. Breathe into the ribs and breathe into the chest. On the exhale, let go from the chest first, releasing in that top hand, then the ribs, then the belly. So this is 3-part breath. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, and exhale, chest, ribs, belly. We'll take a few rounds here. Connecting to the breath. And always breathing in a way that feels supportive for you. Throughout our practice, we'll come back to this breath, but always adapt if you need. We'll take 3 more. After that 3rd breath, you'll release your hands to your lap, opening up the eyes, and starting to find some gentle shoulder rolls. So that can be a big or small movement. We'll do a couple more, and option to switch directions if you like. And then just let your shoulders relax. We're going to find a side bend, flowing and then holding. So option to have your blocks on either side of your mat. We'll begin with the right hand at the floor, and that's coming out maybe 6 to 8 inches away from the hip. You're going to extend the left arm towards the ceiling, breathing in, and as you exhale, lean towards the right side. Inhale, left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, stretch to the right. We'll do that 3 more times, and maybe the arm's not quite up as high. We can always adjust to accommodate if we need for our shoulder. And as we move into this last one, we're going to hold. So this is where you might use your prop. You can just stay in that side angle shape, side bend shape rather. You might bring your elbow to prop on your block. And you might even be able to take your elbow all the way to the ground. While we're here, let's open and close the left hand. Maybe with the hand closed, circle the wrist. We'll take one more breath here. 3 parts in, 3 parts out. slowly rising back to the center. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So that left hand comes out about 6 to 8 inches, right arm extends up. That's your inhale. You'll exhale, lean to the left, side bend. Both hips stay grounded. You're not lifting through that right side. Inhale up, exhale, side bend. We're going to continue like this. Again, finding that range of motion that for you is appropriate. And as we're heading into the last one, you might have one more here. You're going to hold the pose. So you might find for this side, if it's a little more tense or tight, we stay on the hand. If you feel that you want to explore more, maybe elbow to block or elbow to floor. You're breathing here, opening, closing the right hand. Make a fist with the hand, circle the wrist. One more 3-part breath here. And then we'll come back to a neutral position. We've got one more seated pose. You might opt to switch the crossing of the legs. And we're moving through spinal circles. So you're going to start leaning to the right and coming forward, circling to the left and back. And what we want to aim for today is to maintain a really grounded space. So again, one hip doesn't lift as we lean to one side. We're staying really grounded through the tailbone. We'll do 1 or 2 more in this direction. You can do bigger, smaller, faster, slower. And we'll do the same thing, circling the other way when you're ready. Maybe we inhale as we come forward. Exhale to circle back. And both hips grounded. Just see what kind of movement feels good. Maybe a smaller circle feels nice. Finding the movement more in the upper body or the lower back feels good. About one more here to even you out. As you return towards the center, we'll make our way now to tabletop pose. Always have any props that you need. We come to all fours. Ideally, we're aligning bone on bone, so that's shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. Sometimes we might modify hands a little more forward. Starting with that neutral spine, gazing towards the front of your mat. Your neck, it's part of the spine, so we keep all of that aligned. Then we're going to lift the tailbone, tilting the hips towards the floor, belly drops down. You're going to lift through the heart, lift through the crown of the head. It's cow pose. And you're going to tilt your tailbone down, start to create that rounding in your back. Chin tucking in towards chest. This is cat. We continue now moving with our breath, inhaling forward to cow and exhaling back into cat. We're doing 3 more like that. Noticing if we could connect in with that 3-part breath as we move. As you're moving into that last round, return to a neutral tabletop pose. You can bring the block towards the middle of the mat. We're going to do some thread the needle. So if you've got that there, and you can even have a couple blocks, that just gives your head a place to rest if it doesn't reach the floor. So we'll start with that right arm, reaching it up towards the ceiling. That's the inhale. Exhale, right arm under left, shoulder towards the floor. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, twist. We'll do one more. And then we're going to hold this last one for 3 breaths. Through the third breath, press into the left hand, reach the right arm up, and lower it back to the floor. Same thing, left arm extended up towards the ceiling. That's your inhale. We exhale, thread left under right. 3 times, we'll inhale, lift. Exhale to twist. It's the second one more. Now we hold as we come into this one for 3 breaths. Press into that right hand, left arm's gonna lift up, and then lower to the mat. Child's pose, dropping the hips back towards the heels, option for the forehead to come to support. We'll keep the arms forward, maybe trying to reach the hands a little more towards the front of the mat, finding this lengthening through the back. 3-part breath, we're breathing into the belly, ribs, chest. Breathing out, chest, ribs, belly. We'll continue for a few more rounds here. Knowing that at any point in our practice, if we need, we can come into this shape. We might modify, we might come onto our back and hug knees to chest is another way. But the option to take a moment to recalibrate is always available to you. We'll do one more breath. Lifting up on your hands as you inhale. We're going to head into our first downward facing dog. And again, option to have any props. We're grounding into the hands, pressing into the palms, the knuckles, gripping the fingertips. You'll tuck under your toes, lifting the knees, pressing those hips up towards the ceiling. You're in that upside down V shape, maybe pedaling the legs, nodding the head, really taking any movement that feels good for you today. We're going to stay for 3 rounds of our 3-part breath. Continuing to stretch and move organically. And as you finish that 3rd breath, we'll begin to head towards the front of the mat, forward fold. So you can step feet to hands, you can come to tabletop, and then step forward. Knees are bent. Option to have our hands on the blocks. We'll inhale from forward fold and lift up halfway. Exhale to fold, keeping that slight bend at the knees. We stand, inhaling arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, arms down by your side, one hand at the heart, one hand at the belly. We'll find our 3-part breath. Couple rounds here, feeling that breath move through the body under your hands. Then releasing your arms down by your side, mountain pose. Taking that moment to get tall, crown of the head lifting, grounded into the feet. We're going to bring the hands to the hips. Keep a neutral spine in the lower back. So you're not going to poke your tailbone out. You're going to squeeze your upper legs, lift through the chest, widen across the collarbones, lift the chin, and create a stable standing back bend. You can keep your hands like this or bring the hands together behind you, holding this, interlacing the fingers, mindful to not force it. Take another 3-part breath. And release. Left hand to hip, Right arm's going to reach up towards the ceiling. So we're coming into a side bend on the exhale. We're going to lean towards the left. We'll inhale, come up, right hand to the hip. Left arm's going to lift. And on the exhale, you'll stretch over towards the right. We'll inhale up and now lower both arms down by your side. We're going to move through variations of our sun salutations today, starting simple and kind of building as we go. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, find your tabletop pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale, child's pose. We'll take 3 breaths here. Then transitioning to downward dog. We'll take 3 more breaths. Coming back to the front of the mat. Step, jump, however you can travel to standing forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, mountain pose, arms by your side. 3-part breath. As you finish your exhale, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Switching it up this time, we'll inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold, step the right foot back, right knee down to the mat, arms overhead, inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor, kneeling plank. Slide the knees back together, shoulders over wrists. You're going to inhale here, and as you exhale, lower belly to the floor. Inhale to cobra, lifting your head, chest, and optionally hands. Exhale, release, child's pose or downward dog. 3 breaths. On an inhale, step your right foot forward, arms overhead, kneeling low lunge. Exhale to release and transition into your kneeling plank. Breathing in, and then exhale, belly to the floor. Inhale, variation of cobra, lifting head, chest, maybe hands. Exhale, downward dog. Or again, that child's pose is always there if you need. 3-part breathing. One more round of breath. Then head to the front of your mat, however you can get there. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Arms overhead, inhaling to stand. Exhale, mountain. Option to bring hand to heart, hand to belly. 3-part breath. It's going to take one more round of that. Finishing the exhale, you'll reach your arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Last round. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Heels towards the back of the mat, chest extended forward, belly hugging in towards the spine. You can shift forward, bend the elbows, lowered. Roll to the tops of the feet, lift the chest, pressing into the hands. For that deepest vinyasa, you might take one of the previous variations. Find your way to downward facing dog. Use your core strength to lift you straight back and up. 5 breaths. For that 5th breath, travel back to the front of your mat. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to stand, arms overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. Again, option to bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly. 3-part breath. Our breath is what makes it yoga and not just a stretch. In yoga, breath is called prana. The breath work we do, pranayama, the control of our breath. Prana, it means the life force. By doing this breath work, we increase that life force that we have in our body. We feel more vitality, more energy. Go and release your arms by your side. And so you inhale this time, bend your knees, sweep your arms up, find a chair pose. Exhale, send the right arm towards the back of the mat, chair twist. Inhale forward, and on your exhale, left arm sweeps back. Inhale, both arms ahead. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you're going to fold, step your right foot back, pivot the right toes at a 45-degree angle. Bend into the left knee and stand, arms towards the ceiling. Warrior 1. So that back foot's about 45 degrees. Bending that front knee over ankle. And we're aiming to have the hips forward facing. We don't want to be angled towards the corner. If you find that experience, what you'll do is scoot that left foot a little more towards the front of your mat, and that should give you room to pivot the hips, face forward. This is that warrior 1 position. We're grounding into this pinky edge of the back foot, this whole back leg strong, active. Grounding into the corners of the front foot. You're going to exhale, arms out to a T. And then bring your hands together behind you. Now, it could be hands just reach back. Maybe the hands come together, maybe the fingers interlace. You're going to inhale as you breathe into the heart. And on your exhale, start to fold your chest towards the front leg, chin tucked in. Maybe the hands lifting more towards the ceiling. This is our humble warrior position. Take another breath. Inhale to stand, arms overhead, and move into warrior 2. You'll bring your arms to a T, adjust that back foot. So now right toes point to the long side, left toes point to the short side. We're still bending that left knee, looking towards that left hand. Breathing here. Warrior 2, you'll flip the left palm. Left arm lifts up towards the ceiling. Right hand comes towards the leg. This is reverse warrior. If you have a strap, you might take a moment, come out of your warrior pose, grab that. Reset, come back in. You can take your strap over that left shoulder if you've got it. Left elbow's going to bend. This is optional. Like you're patting yourself on the back. You're going to take that right hand, bring it towards the low back, and you might stay there. You've got your strap. You can kind of hold on to that in between your hands. You might be able to kind of slide the hands a little bit closer. Maybe they touch. We're never forcing. Breathing here. And so this is the Gomukhana, the cow face arm position. Paired with our warrior two legs. One more breath. Release your arms to a T. Straighten your left leg, turn all of your toes to the long side of your mat. We're bending at the hips, folding forward, wide-legged forward fold. Hands either to the floor or maybe to some of your blocks for support. And the weight a little more towards your toes rather than your heels. Might feel a little counterintuitive here, but that should keep you balanced. 3 deep breaths. For that third breath, you'll inhale to lift up halfway. Walk your hands towards the front of your mat, and you can step straight back into a downward dog. You can come to a plank and move through any variation of a vinyasa here. So there's always these options in practice. If you need a little more, you're able to take that. If you need a little less, that is always available. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So have your right foot step forward. Pivot the left toes about 45 degrees. Bending that right knee, you'll stand, arms up towards the ceiling. Again, we want the hips to be forward facing. If we're not quite there, we'll take that right foot more towards the outer edge of the mat. That should give you a little more room for the hips to rotate forward. Front knees bent. Kinky edge of your left foot, really anchor down into it. Get this whole back leg active, strong. Arms overhead. Breathing here. And from our warrior one, we extend arms to a T. Your hands will come down by your sides. And it might be that you just reach your hands back behind. Like last time, you might interlace the fingers or hold fists. And we're moving into humble warrior. Take a breath in, expanding through the chest. And on your exhale, fold your chest towards your front leg. Option for that deeper shoulder stretch is to lift the hands more towards the ceiling. Breathing wherever we're at. Strong in the legs, you'll inhale to stand, arms coming up. Warrior two, you're moving. Left foot's facing that long side of your mat. Right knee's bent. If we were to draw a line straight back from that right foot, we might meet the heel or arch of our left foot. If you need a strap, what you can do is come out, grab that. You're going to toss it over your right shoulder this time. Going into reverse warrior, flip the right palm, right arm lifts, left hand to the back leg. Option to stay there. Maybe you bend that right elbow, grab your strap or pat yourself on the back. Left hand to the low back, maybe grabbing another part of the strap. Maybe the hands get a little closer. And we don't want to force it. Breathing here. Exhale out, warrior two. Straighten the right leg. You're going to turn all your toes to the long side of your mat and come back into that wide-legged forward fold. Again, the weight shifts a little more towards our toes. If you're working on that upper body flexibility, you might bring your hands together behind you like you did in the Humble Warriors and press the palms towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, begin to release and walk the hands back towards the front of your mat. This time you're stepping to forward fold, coming all the way back up to the top. We inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to bend the knees, drop the hips, and take chair pose. From chair, stand in mountain, one hand at heart, one hand at chest. We'll connect again with our 3-part breath. Noticing if we feel different with our life force, with our energy, our vitality. And then releasing your arms by your side. We're going to do some balance. If you need to transition to a wall or off your mat, go ahead and do that. We're going to stand on our right leg. Bring the left heel either against the ankle, shin, or inner thigh. We're grounding into that right foot, lifting through the crown of the head, any placement with your hands. They can be at chest, down low, overhead. Left foot presses into the right leg presses against the left foot. You kind of lock yourself in. All 4 corners of that bottom foot pressing down. We'll give it a couple more rounds of breath, doing our best to balance. Then we're going to transition. So we're going to see if we can continue to balance. If the foot comes to the floor, that's okay. But we're going to start to move that left foot away from the right leg and turn the knee forward. The transition here so you can see this shape. Now, it might be that the knee is hip height. And that would be as high as you'd go. Maybe the foot's at the floor, toes touching. That's okay. We're going to twist, bringing our right hand towards that left leg. And maybe it doesn't touch. Maybe we can hold around the knee. And then we're going to extend that left arm back in a T. So you're in this standing twist balance, breathing here. Try for one more breath if you can. And then you're going to come out mountain pose. Shaking out, shaking off if you need. One hand at the heart, one hand at the belly. Take a moment to breathe. Reset your energy. And so it'll be the same thing. Start with tree pose. You're going to stand on your left leg. Right heel could be against the ankle, shin, or inner thigh. And you're finding your place of stability and balance. Looking at one spot on the wall might be helpful here. We call that our dristi in yoga, that focal point. Maybe just trying to focus on one sensation in the body here, like the foot on the floor. Give it a few more breaths to play with your balance in tree pose today. And then we're going to see how well we can maintain that balance. We're going to separate that right foot from the leg and start to point the knee forward. And so you might have the knee higher or down low, wherever you feel the most stable in this pose. We twist, left hand towards the right knee, right leg, right arm extended back in a T. And maybe the hand's just reaching in the direction of the foot. You know, that left hand may not have contact with the leg. That's okay. Breathing here is the most important thing. Be standing a little taller through the crown of the head. And after one more breath, we'll come out to mountain. One hand at your heart, one hand at your belly. Take your 3-part breath, breathe it into your belly, ribs, chest. Breathing out, chest, ribs, belly. We'll do a couple rounds. And as you finish your next exhalation, just release your arms down by your side. And we're going to find our way to our downward facing dog. Take a forward fold and step your feet back. From that downward dog, bring the knees to the floor, tabletop. And then drop your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. 3-part breath. We'll transition to seated, coming up and extending the legs out in front. You're going to have both legs straight out, feet flexed. Bringing the hands down by the sides. The hands lightly press into the floor, helping you to lift up just a little bit more. Gaze towards the toes. This is our staff pose. We're going to keep our hands at the ground and just start to walk the hands down towards the feet. Finding a seated forward fold. And if you've got your strap nearby, you can loop that around the feet. 3-part breathing. One more breath and seated forward fold. Coming out, you'll lift the crown of your head. Bend your right knee. You can keep your foot as it is, or you might even cross the right foot over the left. You're going to bring that right hand back behind you, left hand or elbow coming towards your knee. So you look towards that right shoulder in seated twist. Breathing here. Actively beginning to release any tension that might be lingering in the body. Softening around the hips, the low back. One more breath here. We're going to do the same twist to the other side. You'll release and turn to the front. Left knee bends, and you can keep it as is, or you might cross the left foot over the right. Left arm's back behind you, right hand, right elbow coming towards your knee as you look towards that left shoulder here, twisting. Continuing to breathe. On an exhale, release, untwist. We're gonna make our way onto our back, and again, you might have that strap and your blocks nearby. Maybe if you've got a couple of blocks, having one on each side. And we'll begin by reclining and coming into a reclined tree, a half butterfly, however we might want to think of it. Left leg extended. Right knee falling towards the outer edge of the mat. And that right knee is supported by a prop. You can have your arms down low, or you might reach arms overhead and maybe hold elbows or hold wrists. We'll take three-part breaths here. To the third breath, you'll bring your arms down. Slowly point the right knee towards the ceiling. You straighten the right leg, then the left knee. Make sure you've got a block on that left side. You're going to drop the knee towards the outer edge of the mat, finding this reclined tree, half butterfly pose. An option for you to move your hands where they feel comfortable. Maybe they're overhead, giving you a little bit of a side body stretch. 3 rounds of 3-part breath. For that third breath, we'll release the arms. Point the left knee towards the ceiling. Keeping that left knee bent, we'll bend the right knee along with it. You can have your blocks nearby. We're going to find a bridge pose, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips towards the ceiling. Option to slide your block under your hips for supported bridge. Maybe for a more strengthening option today, that block comes between the thighs, holding it in place as you're in bridge. We'll stay for about 3 more breaths. For that third breath, we'll remove the prop from underneath. Set the prop aside. You're going to hug your knees towards your chest. You can rock side to side. You can do circles with your knees. And then we're going to move into a twist. So we'll set our feet on the floor, keep the knees bent, and bring both knees over towards the right side. Your arms out in a T. Again, always with the option of using your props under your knees, between your knees. If you don't have enough space for arms to T, you could even do cactus arms here. But we begin in this big open position. And then we're going to bring our left arm on top of the right arm. Kind of like we're closing the arms here. It's going to be an exhale. We'll inhale, open up that left arm to the side. And then exhale, close, coming back to the right. We'll do a couple more of these. Inhale to open. Exhale to twist. Inhale to open. Exhale to twist. And now we're going to come into the pose and hold. We'll keep that left arm out by your side, looking up to the ceiling or over towards that left shoulder. Finding 3-part breath. So you finish your exhale, Come back to the center. You're going to take your time and twist your knees to the other side. Again, we begin with the arms in an extended position, a T or cactus. We're open as we begin. It's a breath in. On an exhale, we're closing the arms. Right arm comes over to the left. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Couple more like that. Moving through one more, we're going to hold now. You can even have your block under your head. Option to look towards that right shoulder. 3-part breath. As you finish an exhale, you'll release back to the center. Hugging the knees to the chest one more time. We'll lift the feet towards the ceiling. You might point and flex the feet. And then happy baby pose. We bend our knees. You might can hold the outer edges of the feet or big toes. Option to hold around the ankles or shin. Rocking gently side to side. Pulling the knees towards the floor, getting a deep stretch in your hips. Take another 3-part breath. As you finish the exhale, you'll hug your knees towards your chest. And prepare now for your Savasana. You can lay flat on your back. You might keep your knees bent. Whatever reclined position you come into, either bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, or visualize one hand at the heart, one hand at the belly. And come back to that 3-part breath to close our practice today. Take another 3-part breath. Feel free to stay here longer today. Closing our practice. Namaste.